Between AD 618 and 907, during China's Tang dynasty, something began to appear that would eventually change the history of money. Not coins, not gold, not silver, but paper. Today, paper money feels completely normal. We carry banknotes in our wallets, and most of us do not stop to think about how strange the idea really is. A coin at least has metal in it. A gold or silver object seems to possess value by itself. But a piece of paper, why should that be accepted as money? And yet, centuries before Europe began printing banknotes, China was already experimenting with paper-based financial instruments. The earliest forms emerged during the Tang dynasty, and then, during the Song dynasty, China developed the world's first true large-scale paper money system. This was not a sudden invention made in one year by one ruler. It developed gradually. First came a practical commercial problem, then came a financial workaround, then came official recognition, and eventually paper became money itself. Before paper money, economic life depended heavily on metal coinage. In China, everyday commerce often used copper coins. These coins were effective for small purchases, but they became difficult to manage when trade expanded. Large sums were physically heavy and dangerous to carry. By the Tang dynasty, long-distance trade connected cities, regions, and merchant networks. As commerce expanded, carrying wealth in metal became more inconvenient. If a merchant had to transport thousands of copper coins, that meant wait, delay, and risk. Counting and handling it took time. The system was inefficient. During the Tang dynasty, merchants and officials began using paper financial instruments known as feiqian, or flying money. Instead of carrying coin, a merchant could deposit value in one location and receive a document to claim it elsewhere. The value moved, but the metal did not. These were not yet modern banknotes. They were closer to drafts or credit instruments, facilitating exchange before the state-backed currency of the Song. Still, the conceptual breakthrough had happened. A written document could stand in place of metal. That was revolutionary. Why did this happen in China first? First, China already had paper, widely used in administration and record-keeping. Second, China had a sophisticated commercial economy. Once trade becomes large enough, people naturally search for tools that are lighter and more efficient. Third, the Chinese state and merchant community had experience with written authority. A note only works if people believe it is genuine. During the Song period, in Sichuan, private firms began issuing certificates called jiaozi. They are regarded as the first true paper money in history. In AD 1023, the Chinese government assumed control, turning paper currency into a state-managed instrument. This is a major milestone in global history. People accepted these notes because they believed in the system. Money becomes valuable because institutions and communities agree that it is. The advantages were enormous. It solved transportation, supported a complex economy, and gave governments new flexibility. But paper is easier to produce than metal. If too many notes were printed, confidence could weaken. This was the beginning of a new financial balancing act. Paper money did not appear in Europe until 1661, when Stockholm's Banco in Sweden issued its first banknotes. That historical gap is extraordinary. What began as a practical solution to heavy coins became one of the greatest inventions in civilization. Money is belief, backed by system, trust, organized. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more incredible stories from history.